As I was reading over my engineering notes, this certain engineering topic and this certain gym topic just connected in my brain. It felt like the gears finally just started turning and it all made sense now. The reason engineers do this to materials is the same reason we do this thing in the gym so that we can recover better. My name is Raj Patel and I am a mechanical engineering student who has been training for over 4.5 years. I went from a 120-pound skinny fat kid to a 160-pound aesthetic engineer. The reason I said it was a mechanical engineering student is because I have been trained to create and analyze systems. And in today's video, I'm going to analyze two distinct topics and connect them together so that you can deepen your understanding of recovery and make more gains. Don't worry, I won't get super nerdy on you. I'll keep it very simple and tie it straight back into bodybuilding so you can get back on track to recovering better and making more gains. If you find the information in this video useful, I have a lot more facts to spit. I've learned a lot over the 4.5 years I've been lifting. If you want to make gains faster and start looking more aesthetic, click the top link in the description. The next 7 people to sign up will receive a discounted price for one-on-one coaching. Bodybuilding innately builds up a lot of stress inside of our body. We are literally forcing ourselves to go through tons of physical stress so we can get bigger muscles, which is a good thing. This is how the mechanism is intended to be, just like how I mentioned in the stress strain diagram video. At the end of that video, I talked about how if you kept pushing the limits of stress on your body, you would eventually reach what is called the fracture point on the diagram. In our terms, in bodybuilding terms, it's not so much a fracture point, but more so an injury point. As you keep pushing yourself in with more and more stress, you will eventually injure yourself, which is not a good thing. A good way to tell if you are heading towards the fracture point is if you feel super tired like all the time. If your body isn't recovering from the lift from the previous days, and if your strength is just going down and you're getting weaker and weaker. There are a lot more things, but these are like the biggest things that you should be watching out for. And in that video, I mentioned what you should do when you are feeling these symptoms is to start recovering and ease up on the gym. Because if you keep pushing yourself, you will get to that fracture point. You will get to that injury point, which is not something you want to do. I said that you should recover, but how should you recover? In engineering, there is a term, there is a process called annealing. Annealing is basically heating a material up, holding the temperature constant for some time, and then slowly reducing the temperature. When the temperature is constant, the material's internal stresses start to dissipate. This process is done to reduce the internal stresses and increase ductility. Ductility, if you don't know, is the ability of a material to plastically deform without fracturing. So an example of a ductile material, this is a TheraBand for elbow pain. This is a very ductile material. I can bend it. I can plastically deform this body. I can elastically deform this body without the material breaking, without the material snapping. I can do this and it's not going to snap. It's not going to fracture in half. A material that is not ductile is something like this pen, a plastic pen. If I put some stress like this, I don't want to break my pen, but if I kept going, you could see how it would just fracture straight in half and it would split. This is not ductile. Annealing is done to get a material to be more like this and have less internal stresses inside of it. So what does this look like for us as bodybuilders? Remember, annealing is increasing the temperature, holding it constant for some time so that the stresses start to go away, and then slowly reducing the temperature. This is exactly what the sauna is. When we go into a sauna, the temperature is increased of our body. The temperature is held constant for however long you're in the sauna, and then the temperature is slowly reduced. In this amount of time, you literally dissipate stress, internal stresses from your body so you can feel more relaxed. If you've ever left the sauna, if you've ever gone to the sauna and then you walked out of it, you feel so much more relaxed. And if it's the end of the day, you walk out of the sauna, you go home, take a shower, you feel so relaxed. You will get some of the best sleep you've ever gotten if you don't regularly go to the sauna. If you feel like your muscles are very stiff, very tense, you likely have a lot of internal stresses built up inside of your muscles. You should go to the sauna so you can anneal your muscles, so you can release the internal stresses inside of your muscles. Remember, annealing is done to make the material more ductile. And when the material is more ductile, it is able to go undergo more plastic deformation. Us as bodybuilders, if you remember from the stress strain video, us as bodybuilders, we want plastic deformation. When our bodies plastically deform, our muscles literally get bigger. So if you go to the sauna, you will have a higher threshold to plastically deform your biceps so you can get bigger biceps. Go to the sauna, relieve some stress, get more ductile muscles, and make more gains. It cannot get any more simpler than that. And just a quick note, if you do decide to go to the sauna after your lifting session. Do not go to the sauna before. Going before will directly negatively impact your gains. You will make less muscle if you go to the sauna before. So I'm sure you don't want to do that, so don't do that. Go to the sauna afterwards. Again, I have one-on-one coaching calls. Click the top link in the description if you want to look more aesthetic faster. You know what to do. Get up and get after it.